with no guidance from the Quran, no وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ, when the young girl asks, that was buried alive, asked, for what crime was I killed? Zayd abhorred this practice, and he didn't just say, this is not the way of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Zayd would actually go, and it's just powerful language, وَكَانَ يُحْيِي الْمَوْءُودَ. Asma says he would give life to them, because it's like he was saving their lives, because otherwise he would have all of these girls that would be killed. So what she says is that Zayd used to go out. There was a particular area in Mecca, and I visited that area, subhanAllah, where they actually buried the girls alive. They put out ditches and they would bury the girls alive. And this is what Allah talks about in the Quran, وَإِذَا بُشِّرَ أَحَدُهُمْ بِالْأُنْثَى, that when they were given the glad tidings of a girl, that they would hang their heads in shame and sadness, and they would try to hide from the people because they saw a girl as poverty, they saw a girl as shame. That's the level that these people had reached. And so they would take their young girls in the middle of the night and they would bury them alive. SubhanAllah, think about how nasty that crime is. And Zayd, knowing that, was disgusted by it. So Zayd would go out at the time in which they would take their girls out to bury them, and this is what he would say to them. يَقُولُ لِلرَّجُلِ إِذَا أَرَادَ أَنْ يَقْتُلَ ابْنَتَهُ. He would say to the person as they were taking their girls to bury them alive, he would say, لَا تَقْتُلْهَا إِنِّي أَكْفِيكَ مُؤْنَتَهَا. He said, don't kill her, I will take care of her, and I'll take care of all of her expenses. So Zayd would take the young girl, he would spend on the girl, he would raise the girl, and then once, this is subhanAllah, this shows you the type of character the man has. Once she grew up and she became older, he would go back to the parents and he would say, إِن شِئْتَ دَفَعْتُهَا إِلَيْكَ. Look, now if you want, I can return her back to you, or وَإِن شِئْتَ كَفَيْتُكَ مُؤْنَتَهَا. If you want, I'll take care of marrying her off as well. So the man was raising all these young abandoned girls in Mecca. And then when they reached an age, he would act as their wali. He would act as their guardian. He would find them the right suitor, and then he would marry them off. SubhanAllah, like, where does that come from? Where is that fitrah from? How is the guy making sujood, saving young girls from being buried alive? And SubhanAllah, even, it's narrated about him, he never committed adultery and he never drank alcohol. And in fact, he has a saying, he said, إِيَّاكُمْ وَالزِّنَا فَإِنَّهُ يُورِثُ الْفَقْرِ. He said, beware of committing adultery because it bears poverty in your life. So he even would say that he's opposed to zina, he's opposed to adultery and fornication, he's opposed to alcohol. So basically, he's living this life in accordance with the religion that would come after him, and that was the sincerity of his pursuit of the way of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Now, he travels the world to try to find guidance. Okay? He's on the way of Ibrahim alayhi salam. He says, I want the way of Abraham. Again, he would adopt from Christianity whatever he felt matched up to the way of Abraham. He'd adopt from Judaism whatever he felt matched up to the way of Abraham. But he says, I am on the way of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And him and Waraqah went to a Sham together. So Sham is greater Syria. Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, Jordan. He goes there with Waraqah. Waraqah, of course, immerses himself in the literature of the Old Testament and the New Testament and in the Injil, the Gospel and the Torah. Waraqah immerses himself. He learns Hebrew. He gets very deep into this, and this sort of becomes his life to the point that Waraqah becomes a priest. Okay? Waraqah would become a priest. Zayd, on the other hand, continues to travel, is never really satisfied with the answers that he's getting. And he doesn't have the support of his family. So his uncle tortures him, al-Khattab, and says, don't come around. If you come around, then you'll be beaten. And he actually tells people to beat him if they see him entering into Mecca again. And his wife would become stressed anytime he would say, I'm going to Asham. Because while the people went out to Asham for trade, Zayd would go out to learn more and to try to answer these questions that were nagging at him about revelation and about the oneness of God and Ibrahim alayhi salam. So his wife is trying to stop him from leaving. His uncle saying, don't come back. And he's torn and he's going around. And he goes to two places that are noteworthy. He goes to Mosul, which, if you remember, in Iraq, the story of Salman al-Farisi, Salman also went to Mosul in Iraq.